So I'm just going to go over to say a little observation that I had with some of the modern day collecting, I guess, expectations you could say. And this is regarding what it felt like having a card back in the day that you thought was cool, and you thought it was cool because you had it. And when you would go over to a friend's house, that was when you would know that maybe another card existed, and you couldn't look up cards like you can right now. And I'm going to focus on the non-holo versus holo. And, back in the day, a lot of the time I would see a holo or non-holo of a card that I didn't have, and that would be just as cool, whether or not it was the holographic version or the non-holographic version. And I think it's interesting what people consider a quote-unquote hit nowadays. A lot of it is based on, how much it might be worth, or if they know that there's a better version of it, like an alternate art, an SIR, out there, and, they're only searching for the one. But whatever you had, that was just kind of like embedded in your mind that this was yours and this was the one you get to look at. And anything else that you saw or that you got to share with your friends was that was the new experience. And just for a couple examples, like I have this classic Jungle Wigglytuff. It's awesome. I also have this, the holographic version. It's great. I love seeing both of them. These three different versions, these Raichus. I remember when I had first gotten the non-holographic version, I actually was super excited about it because I just didn't know that it existed. I was so used to looking at the other ones. I have this Hypno non-holographic, and the first time I had seen the holographic version in a friend's binder, I was like, oh, whoa, that exists. It's not just specific to the non-holographic. So I guess a point I can make in this video is that I'm sure it exists out there. I think I've looked it up, but like an iconic card like the holographic base set Charizard, if someone were to come up to me and show me the non-holographic version of that, I would be like, no way, that's so cool. I've never seen that. I only had a friend that had the holographic base set Charizard. I remember when he pulled it. So I guess it's desirable for me to want that version of it just because I've seen my buddy's version of the holographic so many times. And I think that just the way stuff is now and people's satisfaction rate is very much unlike it was back then. But and I just want to know some of your thoughts on that, and if there's other versions of cards that you just like looking at because you just don't see them as often. Here's just another example of having the holo, non-holo, and here's a Bulbasaur you just don't see as often. This one's fun to look at. I don't really care how much it's worth, but it's cool art, and it's something that's just not thrown in your face as much, like how the non-holographic versions of cards were back then for me.